this phase came to an end, my wife and me, we decided to look around if there are more than just these few hotels we found on our travels that cater for vegetarians. We were very surprised. This was 2011, that there were a handful of purely vegetarian hotels. We were excited about this, of course. I mean, I get all these newsletters from Veg Economist and so on. Every day you see there are new brands, new foods in the supermarkets. And what the surveys say that most of these vegan foods that are in the stores now, they are bought by so-called flexitarians.
I'm Farah Shammas. Welcome to Hotel Talk. We hope you enjoy listening to this friendly conversation between people connected by real life in hotels. Hello everyone and welcome to Hotel Talk, and I am so happy to have with me today Mr. Thomas Klein, who I've known for a few years now via my other platform called Cook Vegan. We met a few years ago when I found out that there was something in the world called Vegan Welcome, and it's a platform promoting not just fully vegan hotels, but also hotels that are vegan friendly and offer sustainable travel solutions. And Mr. Klein is in fact the founder. He's the brains behind it. He was the one that started it. And I'm so happy and grateful to have him on Hotel Talk with us today. Thomas, thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me in your show.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Really my pleasure. So first of all, I'd love to introduce to everyone a little bit more about not just Vegan Welcome, but also Veggie Hotels, because you have two different companies, so to speak, or two different umbrellas.
Brands, you can say, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Two different brands. So can you introduce us to both Veggie Hotels and Vegan Welcome, and maybe let us know why did you start them? Like what was the driving force behind it?
Yeah, actually the driving force, you could say, is very personal. I've been a travel journalist for a long time, having my own TV company and producing travel features, documentaries, and so was traveling a lot, staying a lot in hotels, and being a vegetarian since my youth, since I've been 15 years old or so. It was always difficult to get the right food, and especially when you are traveling in hotels. And when this phase came to an end, my wife and me, we decided to look around if there are more than just these few hotels we found on our travels that cater for vegetarians. And we were very surprised. This was 2011, that there were a handful of purely vegetarian hotels. We were excited about this, of course, and we made a deeper research, and more and more we put them together. And then our friend Peter, who is now our partner, he's a specialist in IT and everything, said, why not setting up a website and see? So it started a bit like a hobby. But then when we had the first 100 or so hotel on the platform, there was such a tremendous response from the community of vegetarians that very quickly, after 1 year, we decided to make it a professional thing. And since then, I think we have about 500 hotels listed on Veggie Hotels. All these hotels are purely vegetarian or vegan. A majority very small hotels or even B&Bs. Vegan Welcome came up when, so to say, the vegan wave started, because I must say 2011, I started becoming a vegan 2011 myself, but it was not such a big word then. So in the years 2015, it became very big, as you know, and we became a lot of requests from hotels like 4-star, 5-star hotels. They said, it's great. We also cater for vegetarians and vegans. Can we join? And we didn't want to spoil, so to say, our brand Veggie Hotels, because it says 100% vegan or vegetarian. And so the idea ripened to start a second platform, and we came up with Vegan Welcome. The name and form is identical, so vegans are welcome, and vegan food as a food style is also welcome. And we started this 2015, so it's also 7 years online now. And this developed very good, because we see that around the world now professionals wake up to the idea of plant-based food. So we get a lot of requests from that side. So actually, this is the short story of these two brands. First, Veggie Hotels and Vegan Welcome. By the way, both brands are registered as a European word brand trademark. So we are very proud to have this as a brand for development.
Really, Thomas, thank you for that intro. You should be proud, because it's amazing. It's amazing. I say this as a fellow vegan, to have a platform where someone can feel secure and safe to choose options of where to stay. And I also struggle. I mean, when we travel, I think my husband struggles more than me, and he's not vegan or vegetarian, but he worries more if we'll find somewhere that I can, be catered for. So it's so important. And I know that us at St. Raphael Resort and Marina, we've been with you, I think, for 4 years now.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. And we're so happy. And we're the only ones with you in Cyprus. And it's such an honor. And I feel it. I mean, we've been on quite a few trips recently. And it's such a shame when business owners don't understand really the concept behind veganism. And it's not just to tick a box and say, oh, we have one token risotto and you'll be fine, or just eat some fruit for your dessert, or have a sorbet. Like that's not an option. Or you can't be in a hotel for a whole week and eat, a Beyond Burger. You've got to have proper options.
Right.
So on that note, I'd like to ask you, what is the criteria? I mean, how do you, or if someone's listening to this and would like to visit one of the hotels within your brand, what is your criteria that makes a hotel, obviously to be in veggie hotels, they have to be fully vegetarian or fully vegan. But to be like us in our hotel, where we're part of Vegan Welcome, what is the criteria somebody needs to have to be part of that, or to consider themselves a hotel that is friendly for vegans?
Yeah, Farah, you absolutely hit the point. When we started with Vegan Welcome, we were thinking deeply, what should be the bottom line? For veggie hotels, something different, that's very easy, no meat, no fish, and you are certified by that. But if you go to a 4 or 5-star hotel with 100 rooms, 200 rooms, it's a different story. There today, we must say, it's not yet possible in this, with so many rooms, to have enough people having a vegan lifestyle. So we have to consider that. So we said we put the bottom line quite low. That means we said the criteria would be that to all given meals, made breakfast, lunch, dinner, there should be a vegan alternative as a standard. So, and we set this as a minimum. And as you said just now, and you, as I said, you hit the point. Even that standard isn't reached by many hotels, because most 5-star hotels would say, if you make a request that you are vegan, they would say, of course, we cater for everyone. And but if you come there on the spot on this Friday, no, there was no soy milk available now, and so. If it's not a standard, and that's actually the point we stress with personal talks before we certify these hotels. If there is at least one person in the hotel who considers responsible for the plant-based food, and that it is standard. So on request, as everybody says, on request we do it. we would not.
It's not good enough.
Out of it. It's not enough because it's frustrating for the guests and for the hotelier as well, because he gets angry vegan guests.
Yeah.
And the second point you mentioned, and this is one of the very important points with vegan welcome. Mostly, not everybody in the family is a vegan, and we found that in that sense, vegan welcome is even more valuable than veg hotels, because the family comes, one member, sometimes only the daughter, very often, is a vegan, and she or he maybe decides in the family where to go, because the other members of the family want to be that everybody's happy, but they also want to have their food they prefer in the moment. And so in the vegan welcome hotel, the person who is plant-based will be happy, and the others are also satisfied, but they have the chance to try vegan food on a high level. And that's also the reason why we stress that it should be on a standard and also on a good level, because if the level of food quality is low, then it would be the last time that someone tries vegan food. And that would
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my goodness, I couldn't agree with you more. And this is something that I always tell and stress to our team when we're having team meetings and we look at our results, and maybe we've got a new vegan burger or a pasta or whatever it might be. And then we say, oh, but the sales are not that high. And I'm like, well, you can't look at it like that, because for every one of those you sold, we potentially sold 4 or 5 or 10 of the non-vegan options. So those very, very often are, let's say, the bait on the hook to bring the families or the groups of friends in. Because, for example, if I go somewhere with my family, like you said, or if I'm with friends, they're going to choose a restaurant to invite me to, or that we go out that will cater for me. Otherwise, there's no point going. They know that they can eat their chicken and their fish and their steak or whatever everywhere, but where has good vegan food? So it is a massive point that I think all restaurant owners and hoteliers have to consider. So thank you for touching on that. I'm going to get a little bit more, let's say, personal now, and ask you, which is your favorite hotel? Because you've traveled a lot, as you said, with your wife. You've been to so many places in the world. You were a travel journalist, and you still travel a lot. You've got all these amazing hotels under your brands. So if you could say a name, great. But if you want to keep that to yourself, you can. But what is your favorite hotel and why?
Yes. This is a difficult question to answer, really. Because we are always excited when going on travel, and actually it happens quite frequently that we say that was the best we ever had, but next time we say the same. Also, vegan welcome is not a homogeneous brand, so each hotel is very different, mostly personal owned by an owner, not by a chain, and so they have their specialities which you don't get anywhere else. So it's in their region they are special. But I just from the last years, I was very touched by a travel to South Tyrol, northern Italy. They're the first purely vegan hotel open. They are also a member of Vegan Welcome and Veg Hotels. That's possible in that case. And they have a very high level of vegan food. That was what you don't have that often. So it's a step to become plant-based, but it's a second step to have a chef who really is creative, and because what wouldn't be satisfying to the guests if they get vegan food, let's say, but which they also get in the supermarket, like a burger which you have there, or a plant-based soya schnitzel which you can put in your pan at home. You would expect from a vegan or vegan-friendly hotel that you have an experience of a plant-based dish that you probably don't make at home because so many ingredients is. And then what we experienced in La Vinea, I think we counted for the breakfast buffet. I think it were something between 30 and 40 different items. So it was kind of a sport to see, oh, they have this and this and this. And they invented every day something new. So this freshness and this new experience, we always love. Here it was amazing, but we see it in many hotels. So almost every hotel has a specialty which you haven't tasted before. And so you think, okay, we can try this at home, but it's just beautiful to just sit there and without questioning, is it made with some sausage, with some meat inside? You don't have to ask all this because you know it's plant-based. It's labeled as plant-based, this dish, and you can just enjoy it. So there could be some more hotels, even very small ones. If you have a hotel with only 10 rooms, and then it's more like in a family. And all hotels, I must say, that we visited till now have their charm. You know?
Their charm. Are you like me? I still get so excited when I see vegan food, even if I'm in a fully vegan restaurant, that I want to try it all. Yes. And I feel the need to support everything they're doing. So I end up putting everything on my plate and just overeating all the time out of excitement.
Yeah, that's a really problem. But I must say, especially in the vegan welcome hotels, we had some very nice experiences when we saw there's a family, and it was the first time that someone had the experience of a full vegan dinner. That's 5-course dinner or so, and because they just did it to please their family, let's say the husband, he said, okay, I go with you and I eat my meat, but this evening I will have the vegan dinner with you. And then you see and you talk afterwards with them and say, yes, it's not only that you can eat it, it's delicious, you know. And this is a very fulfilling experience also for the chefs. And many hoteliers tell me nice and moving stories that people came as meat eaters, and they came back as vegans because they took it home and then they developed this. It's not from one day to another, but they said, okay, it's because some people really still think that you cannot eat it, you know. So
that's always my mission. That's why on my platforms or on social media or just generally in life when I meet people, if someone's already vegan, that's wonderful and we can share so much together. But my main thing is to talk and convey why I'm vegan without preaching, but to non-vegans, and hopefully subtly can try and, I don't know, tease them into trying vegan food. So when they come to my house, I don't rush to make non-vegan food. They're coming to my house where I only cook vegan, my brand. And hopefully they'll try it and they'll leave saying, oh my goodness, I can't believe it, I'm full. Or I really enjoyed that meal. I can't believe there wasn't meat in that. Yeah. And that for me is more of a success. And the same goes to the hotel. As you know, with it,
fortunately, it's getting better day by day. I mean, I get all these newsletters from Veg Economist and so on. Every day you see there are new brands, new foods in the supermarkets. And what the surveys say that most of these vegan foods that are in the stores now, they are bought by so-called flexitarians, people who are open. They're not vegan, but they are open, and they eat the vegan schnitzel, and because they like the taste of meat, and so. But they said
absolutely,
and so it's getting better day by day. It's not so exotic anymore because I must say, in the beginning when we started, I heard stories from our hotels that they had a vegan wedding, and people came with food in their pocket because they thought, okay, if it's vegan, then I will go up hungry, you know. And it was very funny that I remember one hotel here in Berlin, even they had a lot of weddings, and after having this experience for a few times, they decided not to announce it that the food will be vegan. and also asked the couple not to tell anything about the food. It's just a wedding, and there will be a buffet or a dinner or whatever, and it's what it is. It's plant-based, and this goes much better for all the hotels I know, because people are surprised, but they don't have get heated up for 3 days that they have to go to a vegan dinner, and then they are, if it's done well, they have a good experience.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Things are much better now.
Would you say that, have you seen a notable rise in demand for vegan options and vegan hotels?
Yes, actually, we see it that even through the pandemic, it was hard for everyone, but we didn't shrink. So we get even new members through this time, because it was a time of reflection for everybody. And mostly when you think about bigger hotels, the owner might be a vegan like you, but they didn't have made the step to really come out and have a vegan menu or so. And during this time of the pandemic, quite a few said, okay, now it's the time. Sustainability and all this climate thing, it's becoming more important, and we should stand up for it. And so I think there is a kind of a awakening in the industry, in the hotel industry, that it is not just a trend or something which will go away, but this will grow. And it's pushed, of course, by the food industry, which puts out new alternatives, plant-based alternatives. So I'm quite confident that this is something that has come to stay, so to say. And
it's amazing.
You see it clearly.
I'm so happy that there is a rise.
Yeah.
From my personal experience, I would say it is quite difficult to make that move, because many people literally will say you're crazy when you start talking about having vegan options and being more sustainable, but it's definitely worth it. And I wanted to ask you as well, do you see a lot of what's known as greenwashing in the industry?
Yeah.
A lot of people pretending that they're sustainable or vegan friendly or vegetarian friendly, and they're actually not.
Yeah,
you see a lot of that.
I'm still looking for the right word. We call it vegan washing, but the word greenwashing is usually used for organic hotels or so. And there certainly is, because it's a term, and some hoteliers still think they say, of course we do it on request, and there's not much about it. There should be some fruit and some carrots or what that vegans like, and but they learn by experience. I must say we made an experience when we started Vegan Welcome. We were quite astonished that from the start we had a lot of Austrian and South Tyrol members. And the German hoteliers, they came much later. Now there's also a good number, and Italy and Great Britain. But it was remarkable that Austria and South Tyrol, they really jumped on it, And I asked many hoteliers, why is it so? And finally, the conclusion was that they have a very high level of what would be the English word of Gastgeberschaft is the German word. To be their main thing is to be a host. That means how can I do more to please the guest? And I don't want to say anything about other hoteliers, but there could also be a hotelier that this is my menu, and if you don't like it, you go somewhere else. And the Austrians, of course, they are also conservative, but they have big ears and eyes. What is the trend? And if they hear 2-3 times that someone is ordering or asking for vegan food, they don't say crazy trend, they say, okay, maybe we should do something about it. And they are very alert. And this comes now everywhere. And also, as there are many vegan restaurants also, I think the people responsible, they learn now that it's not enough to just put something on the menu, just say, we have a convenient schnitzel in the refrigerator, and if someone comes. And I have an argument which is, I think, quite to the point. Many hoteliers that still don't think that it's necessary to cater for vegans, they don't see that with one vegan, 3 other people are coming. And the latest numbers for flexitarians, at least in Germany, but it's in the EU, it's something like this. It's around 50%. It's a great number. People who don't cling to their meat. So they say, if there's a vegetarian or vegan dish, I will order that. If not, I don't mind. Which means if they show up in your hotel, they won't tell you. So if you have a vegan menu, they will choose something from there. And this is something I hear from hotels that make the jump. They are quite surprised that they sell 30-40% after some time of vegan dinners, which they didn't expect, because these are not vegans who order this, but there are people who enjoy it. And it's because they first might say, I haven't heard of a vegan coming to my hotel. Why should I do something for vegans? But that's a mistake for a host, because you don't see them. A vegan, this old joke, how do you notice a vegan? He will tell you.
They will tell you.
Yeah, but a flexitarian won't.
Yeah.
And
a vegan just won't come in the first place. They'll just find somewhere else and they'll take their friends and family with them. So the point is to cater for them, but cater for everyone, because everyone can eat vegan food. Yes. So why throw the cheese in that pasta? Why not use either a plant-based cheese or use something else? Be creative and also lower your carbon footprint. So that's also a really important thing. As I was saying, in our restaurant at our beach here, at our vegan restaurant, most of our clients are not vegan, but they come and they love it. I wanted to ask you, because you touched on that and something you said earlier about staff saying, well, we have this, or why is that important? How important is it for the staff in all our hotels, but especially obviously veggie hotels or vegan welcome hotels, to really understand what it is to be vegan or vegetarian and how to cater for it? Would you say a lot of training goes into it, or are they handpicked from the beginning to be more likely to understand? Give us some comments and thoughts about the staff.
I think this is of utmost importance. And actually, in our first phase of Vegan Welcome, basically we collected all the hotels which have been vegan friendly anyway, and who trained their staff and are alert. But the next stage would be to set hotels in the position to be vegan friendly, and there the training of the staff is of utmost importance. That means first to train the chefs, of course, but also the other hotel, the other restaurant staff at least, and to have a standard that it's kind of given over to the next, because stuff is changing, and there should be a kind of continuum. So if you train 3 people in your restaurant and they leave, then you have to do it over again. I must say I have a good example, a 5-star hotel in Munich. We visited frequently. They have a great vegan brunch. They have also I think a Japanese restaurant, so they're not completely vegan. But they are famous for their brunch. And they told me that, I think this was 7 years ago, they invited a vegan chef, and he wrote down each part of this brunch. And they had also about 30, 40 different items, from vegan pancakes, which was quite unique at that time. And maybe 10 chefs came and went in that time, but they were able to keep that standard because they have the book,
Yeah, the
it's
Bible.
quite easy for the brunch there, but somehow there has to be someone who keeps the level high.
Standards, yeah.
Who sees there is no almond milk, and so you will only see it if you are trained a little bit. So I think this will be the next stage in our development, to give the possibility of training and to see what are the basics of a vegan breakfast, of a dinner, of whatever. So
I wanted to ask you on that level, or on that note rather, how do you at Vegan Welcome ensure the standards are being met, and who monitors that? Yeah. Because any hotel could say, yeah, I've got that option. Can I join your group? Yeah. How do you know, and how do you ensure that the standards are up to scratch?
Yes, actually, with a subscription or registration, there comes always, as we did, a personal talk. And we go into detail, and we don't, how to say, greenwash our own statement. So we openly say it's no use for you to get certified by Vegan Welcome if there's not a clear commitment, because it will not do good to your business. And because that's also feedback we get quite often. The vegan community is very active. So if you somehow manage to get a Vegan Welcome certification and you don't live up to it, it goes for one season and then it's over. Then you have more negative comments, and then it would have been better not to go that path. And then of course we have a large questionnaire where we see how vegan friendly is the hotel. And after we do it on a yearly basis at least, that the hotel has to confirm that he still follows that path. And here we have mostly positive experiences, because when you offer a vegan food as a standard, then you see that there are more people interested in this food style as you thought. Then, of course, you go deeper into it. You offer more dishes. You are more.
You get more excited.
Yeah, you get more excited, and
more creative.
Some training in your staff, and then it builds up.
Absolutely. Thomas, my last question for today is, finally, although we covered a lot of this in all of our conversation just now, but just to sum it up, why are vegan hotels and vegan-friendly hotels so important?
Yes, actually, the whole vegan idea, in my understanding, sits on 3 pillars. There's the health, and many people look for plant-based food for health reasons. You could also say it's cholesterol-free, it's lactose-free. You cover all the allergies or many allergies. So from a health side, it's a good point. And the second point is the ecological thing. I mean, especially in the moment, there's a lot of talk about, as you said, your carbon footprint. And it comes more to the forefront that the food plays a much bigger role, and even bigger role as a transport and industry, that it's a thing in itself that has an enormous impact. If, for example, our partner organization Veggie, which sits also here in Berlin, they have the claim 50 by 40. They said if we can reduce the meat consumption by 50% to 2040, that would be a huge contribution to hold back the climate change. So the ecological point is very important, and I see many hotels still today look for alternatives to be climate neutral, and food has its part in this. So it fits very well in the strategies of most hotels. And last but not least, there's the ethical part of it. Many people become aware that the food they've on their table have been a joyful living animal. And compliments for your children book. We enjoyed it very much.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Because younger people, even children, they are naturally, you don't have to convince them. Actually, you have to convince them that it's normal to kill these animals. And
these sentiment beings that don't want to die.
So
absolutely.
This ethical part comes more to the consciousness of the people. And if you have all these 3 points, ethical, ecological, and health, it's a good idea to just expand this part, even in the hotels.
Oh my goodness.
I think on Booking.com you have, 2 million hotels. So there's a lot to do still. If you see,
there's a lot to do.
Website.
And if they all do that a little bit, it's really going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Thomas, I want to congratulate you before we close, because I know that you have been awarded by the PETA Vegan Travel Awards last year, I think, as the best travel online portal in their Vegan Travel Awards, which is amazing. Huge congratulations.
Thank you very much.
It's so great. And in closing, I have a bonus question for you, because on this podcast, Hotel Talk, we have asked our team here at the hotel to put random questions together. And I have a little box full of these questions. And I've already pulled one out of this box. Say the person didn't know that it was you that would get it. And my kids actually wrote some as well. I can't remember who wrote this one, but it's quite a good one for you. I almost know the answer, to be honest. But it says, if you owned a hotel, what would you call it?
Maybe if it's in a city, I would just call it Veggie Hotel Number 1.
Oh, I like it, Number 1. And if you could get it, the Number 1 on the road or something.
Yeah, something like that.
That would be lovely. That would be lovely. Well, thank you so much, Thomas. Really, it's been a pleasure to see you again online.
Yes.
And thank you so much for being on this podcast. And I wish you and your 2 brands every success.
Yes. And I wish you lots of success with your starting podcast.
Thank you so much. And we'll be in touch again. We're waiting for you to come and visit Cyprus.
Yes.
Great.
Do.
Thank you. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank
Bye.
You. Bye-bye.